Hello everybody, welcome to the back nine of the second round of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy. We're following FPO lead card. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
And I'm Madison Walker. We are the Two Hot Geese.
Follow us on Instagram, give us a honk. We love you guys, we're happy to be here. We are following Kona Panis, Paige Pierce, Valerie Mandujano, and Catrina Allen today.
Kona lighting it up on the front nine, showing us what she did the day before on the course. We're happy to get to watch it today.
We got a leaderboard check-in. We have some movement here. Lisa Vegas up from, you think, chase card or third card?
Yeah.
And Madison Walker, all right, two down, making some moves.
Who's that girl?
She's one hot goose, I'll tell you that.
I was on the fourth card, so
wow.
This was shocking for everybody involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement today. Moving day is aptly named.
We're heading into hole 10. When you're not watching all the coverage from this year's Waco Annual Charity Open, be sure to go to www.thediscbarn.com. It is the official drone cam sponsor of the every event GK Pros doing in Texas. For a great selection of discs, thediscbarn.com. Free shipping for orders over $75. Hole 10 is another par 4 in the woods, 491 feet. The hole average is 3.88, so the women are really dissecting this hole effectively. We're going to see some birdies out here. No out-of-bounds trouble for you to get in. It's just ripping as far as you can off the tee and then managing your approach. There's a few different approach slots on the way to the basket. We'll see these ladies use all of them.
This is another Emperor from Kona, down one of the prettiest fairways maybe ever in disc golf.
Wow, crushes.
On that right side, so she'll have to do a tricky little forehand, but she's way up there.
By right, she means left?
Yeah, obviously.
The left side is where you do kind of want to avoid, but as long as you're able to step out, you can get a sidearm up and down, no problem. The right side is a lot trickier. There's more room to work over there, but you can't see the pin for your approach.
This, I'm sure, is a Zeus, and Paige has crunched it. Almost a circle two.
Yeah, circle two flags. Yes.
Jeez.
She's got a wide open putt. Love watching Valerie throw drives. She misses all the trees in the fairway, leaving herself a very wide open approach.
This looks like an X3 from Kat.
This is maybe one of her signature discs. She has a 500, very pretty swirly X3. Go check it out. Support the women touring.
That was pretty close, but she should still have a good look at the birdie. She's right in the middle.
Looks like she's lining up her PA4, I believe, to throw an approach.
PA1.
PA1 goes a little bit past. She'll have to contend with a few little trees on the edge of the green.
Likely an AVR X3 from Valerie.
That's actually played as the easiest hole on the course. Maybe that's why it's my favorite hole too.
It's like the one woods hole that actually has a fairway, like a mostly wide open fairway.
And it's a really pretty fairway too. I mean, grass all the way, lining. It's really nice and green looking, lots of big pretty trees. Paige for bird.
For eagle.
For eagle. Giving herself another eagle look. Lands about in the same spot as Catrina. It's a little bit of an uphill putt from there.
Taste the eagle.
I was hoping that wouldn't come back up.
Official sports drink of the Disc Golf Pro Tour.
For anybody that did not watch the front nine, I apologize.
Oh yeah, that's super weird. Go watch it, please.
Nice birdie save from Paige. She grabs the heart too. She's getting the feels.
Yeah, that's a great comebacker. Nice to see her, still being aggressive, still trying to score.
I think that's her first birdie of the day.
I think you're right. Mm-hmm. Not Kat's first birdie of the day.
Definitely
and
not.
What a way to bounce back. Again, if you didn't watch the front nine, Kat had kind of a nightmare scenario, just stuck in the woods.
On hole 9.
Yeah.
Picked up a lot of strokes. Picked up all of her strokes on one hole.
Mm-hmm.
It can happen so quickly out here. We've all been there if you've played the Beast.
Star frame, right?
Yep.
First of the round.
No surprise on hole 10.
Hole 11 is a par 3. It's 279 feet. You're throwing downhill, but then back uphill, so overall it's pretty level. It moves slightly left to right. You definitely want to error to the right and just get up on the top of the hill if you can. The left side is awful, and you're left with not very many putting opportunities if you end up kind of down to the left near the green. You definitely can find trouble on either side, just trying to rip something straight and kind of skip forward.
This is 2 holes in a row now that averaged under par for the FPO field. Loving these woods holes for our games. It makes for some really exciting golf. Gives a lot of opportunities for birdies. Kona inside the circle, she has set herself up for a death putt, and a pretty brutal one at that, but we've all seen her putting looking very confident. It's nice when you get into the zone and you don't even notice it's a death putt. You just are right there in the basket.
That is maybe a fierce or a soul. I'm not sure which.
Trickles a little bit into the left side, but doesn't look super deep.
I believe this is a TL3, and that is pretty laced, but then, yep, that's the problem. So that's why you want to kind of shoot more to the right side, because that hill just filters everything down to the left. Hopefully she'll have a window to give it a chance for bird. M4 from Cat. Ooh, that's good.
Got a little late flip.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful. That's
She
what
should
you
be
want.
able to
Thanks,
go
Terry.
back-to-back birds and really get the back nine going.
Paige not super deep in the woods like we hoped. Looks like she's doing a jump putt.
You made it sound like we hoped she was deep in the woods, but
She gets a pretty gnarly kick off the cage, setting herself up for a death putt, but hopefully it's fairly close.
Valerie has a window, but low ceiling, high putt, almost got it.
She's making those long putts look pretty effortless.
Kona having to straddle. Pretty wide straddle.
Yeah, I thought she had a wide open look. Looks like she might have just opted to pitch up.
Yeah, it's not a bad play.
No.
Again, if you go down that hill, you're looking at bogey real quick.
Paige looking a little hesitant on the green, a little nervous. It is a scary putt, but I'm just, we're not used to seeing her look nervous on the green.
Cat back-to-back birdies. Back under par.
What's a little different about the day is it was, today was the first day that it was like legitimately hot and very humid. So it's the first day that we've dealt with like your kind of your hands being sticky. It was different from Vegas, that's for sure, where humidity doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Moving on to hole 12, the second par 5 of the day, 609 feet, definitely the longest hole. Another zigzag type of a hole. You want to throw a pitch forehand off the tee, but you want it to push deep to set yourself up for the second shot where you're hopefully trying to get somewhere around this hill past the big tree on the left. So you can give yourself an open look at the basket. If things go according to plan, you'll be able to pitch up for an easy birdie, no problem. Not a lot of trouble around the basket, a couple of fairway trees, but no out of bounds that you have to worry about. If you mistake and go early right here, that really sets the tone for the rest of the hole. It makes it really hard to come back.
And that's early, but she's dead center fairway, and if she can get all the way to the edge of the fairway, towards the pin, she can definitely still for it.
Kona pushing deep just like you're supposed to. Catches some cabbage on the edge, but she's in a perfect spot to get all the way to the hill.
Paige going backhand again, which is surprising. I'm trying to figure out, it looks like a fierce, but... early.
Yeah, this is a scary backhand hole.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't get it to flip, it can go so deep into the woods straight. There's nothing. There's literally nothing out there.
Wow, that was a roadrunner that, wow, I thought she threw it into the woods, but that's, like, amazing.
That's farther than any sidearm I've seen on this hole.
Yeah. Wow, I guess she knows what she's doing or something. Great shot. Paige, this looks like a decent scramble.
Yeah. a little early. That's where you kind of want to avoid off the tee. But she has a gap through those two big trees.
Yeah, par is still attainable for Paige. Kat is trying to get as close to that hillside as she can.
Really pushing the fairway deep. She can actually still get a birdie from right there. She'll have to flex something up to the green, but it is doable. That's the cool thing about this hole, is because it's a little bit of a softer par 5, you can make an error and still save your birdie.
This, I think, is that same Emperor, and that was almost up the hill, it looked like. She's still in a great position to birdie.
This is the first hole in the woods where you start to feel the wind a little bit more, especially up around the green. You can see the leaves kind of shaking around Paige. Oh, no.
Yeah, just too straight. She is in scramble mode.
Valerie lining up a sidearm. Even though she doesn't pull them out off the tee very much, she looks comfortable, throws a really nice flex. It'll be a long look at the basket.
Yeah, she doesn't throw them off the tee much, but she's definitely got that good utility, 200 and maybe 50-foot sidearm, which is becoming, more and more of just kind of a staple in really both fields, FPO and MPO. Like, you kind of need both shots these days. It's hard to be completely dominant one way or the other.
Catrina definitely early releases that a little bit nose up as well. I would have expected her to be crashing the green. She'll be outside circle 2 and have to pitch up. Yeah. Even though I called this a soft par and said that you could still make an error and still get a birdie, it looks like the women's field averaged at about a half stroke over par.
Oh, that surprises me.
Yeah, me too. The fifth most difficult hole of the day. I'm actually very surprised by that. Only 4 birdies on the day. Congrats to Holly Finley, Heather Young, Alexis Mandujano, and my fellow hot goose, Erika Stinchcomb.
Honk.
Catrina pitching up to the green.
Yeah, all these ladies struggling a little bit to get up here and get putts, but that was decent. She'll have a little work left to do. Ooh. Oof. This looks awkward.
Looks like a blind approach.
Oh, and she juiced it.
Yeah, doesn't really meter the speed. She will have a very tough putt through a bunch of vines.
Is that for her par?
I believe so.
That putt, yeah.
This is Kona for birdie.
Leaves a little bit left as well. Didn't quite get enough turn on it. Maybe released a little early.
She'll have kind of an awkward straddle to save her par. Or maybe Kona won't straddle.
Yeah. Paige is right there, I believe, for her bogey.
I wonder how open this gap is. Question answered. It's crazy. There's so many greens out here at the Beast where you can find those walls inside the circle and just have nothing.
It's frustrating, though, because they're like tiny sticks, but there's just enough of them to get in your way.
It might as well be a brick wall.
That's a good par. I'm sure she's frustrated she didn't capitalize on the birdie, but, pars on the Beast are good.
Kona not straddling. Boom, par. Not the strongest looking play on this hole from our lead card ladies, but we're about to head back out into the open, and who knows what can happen out there. Maybe a few people here are excited to get out of the woods, excited to let loose.
Leash loose.
Loosen the leash.
All right, gonna let loose here on hole 13. Par 4, 555 feet. There is a Mando tree right. It's missable, but, you just have to throw straight and kind of hyzer out with a backhand. There is a forehand line, though it's hard to get the distance you need. There is out of bounds left and right, but it's pretty difficult to find. It narrows as you get to the pin. This is another one reachable by the entire field. We do have a tailwind now rather than a headwind, so we should see these ladies attack for birdie.
It's really important on this hole to get as much distance off the tee as possible, because if you just kind of pitch a hyzer out to the left, it makes your approach really difficult. The fairway trees there's not very many of them, but there's just in the perfect position where you can't get a distant shot on your second shot. So you want to bite off as much as you can from the tee.
Even if you do, though, I mean, I got as far as I could and was still behind a fairway tree. So, like,
They're in the perfect spot on this hole. It's so weird. Like, you could not grow them better.
I agree. Like, she's so close to being behind that tree, you know? But she's in a strange hole, but should have a look at the birdie.
We don't talk about fairway holes a lot.
No.
But they exist.
Ooh, this looks like it missed the Mando. Oh.
Maybe short of the Mando?
Yeah, she might have caught early and has not missed it yet. It's hard to say. Probably a Zeus from Paige, and this is crunched.
Yeah, biting off a lot of distance.
403 to be exact.
Holy moly, and she's way out to the left. I think it widens up the approach.
I think so too, and you can kind of throw more of a hyzer versus like a straight shot or a forehand.
Valerie just kind of continuing what she would have done off the tee and still just pitching it out to the left. She's going to accept her par at this point. Putting her 124 feet from the Bushnell distance meter.
From the pin?
Katrina opted for the more straight shot off the tee instead of the hyzer after hitting that tree, and it's kind of cool over there. It's a whole different hole.
She gets it to, looks like edge of circle 2.
Kona hits that fairway tree. I think she hit it yesterday as well.
Paige, wow, running it? Parking it.
Parking it.
That'll be a nice easy birdie now that she's out in the open.
Doing what she does. Feeling a little bit more comfy.
Nova from Valerie. Weaving it just edge of the circle.
Little bit of a tester in the wind.
Yeah.
It was ripping on the screen. Even though it is a tailwind for her putt, still a little scary. Kona just pitching up. Par's not bad.
Yeah, but I don't know. Once you get out of the woods and you're able to just let loose on a shot, you really want this one.
You sure do. I'm very surprised to see that the FPO field averaged over par on this, even though it's only about a fifth of a stroke over par. I'm very surprised. Only 9% of the field birdied.
That is surprising. That was a really good putt to save her par.
We get to watch one of the birdies on our card. We already saw Paige Pierce Parker approach. Deanne Carey and Sarah Hokum with the other two birdies.
Kona just tapping in for par there.
Katrina doing the same as we head on to one of the shortest holes on the course and one of the most wide open.
Real quick, let's get a leaderboard check-in. Kona is 10 down. She's 6 strokes ahead of, wow, Ms. Madison Walker, honk. Sarah Hokum, Lisa Vegas climbing up the board, Kat and Val dropping off a little bit. It is crazy and really cool to see this much movement. I mean, we have a competitive field here.
I mean, it's really no guess who could be in the top 4 at the end of this event. So much is happening.
It is no guess.
Hole 14. It's a par 3, 303 feet. It plays just slightly uphill. There's out of bounds on the left and right. Pretty far both ways. You'd really have to shank or catch a tree to find them. There's out of bounds deep as well, and I think that comes into play almost more than the left and right out of bounds.
I think it plays a little longer than it feels. You know, like maybe a 320-ish or something.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to see maybe some forehands, or the wind was a little bit down, I think, at this point, so maybe more backhands just to make sure you get there, or ace it. Oh, man. That looked so good.
Actually just around circle's edge. Yeah, the flag, that's the first time I haven't seen the flag's absolutely whipping. It looks relaxed out there. And you think that till you get to like hole 17.
Yeah.
Katrina taking the wide hyzer route. Gave me a little bit of a heart attack on that Zuka tower.
She's right there, though, for the bird.
That was absolutely perfect. Kona opting for the backhand.
wonder if this is her leopard 3.
Weaving it through the trees.
Wow, hit that
15
tree,
feet.
bud. Good kick. Valerie getting over on it a little bit into maybe circle 2, maybe just outside circle 2. Just laying up for the par.
Another hole where the FPO field averaged under par. Still only 16% of the field with birdies, but just not a lot of bogeys.
Paige really focusing on this one. Not able to convert. Not happy about it.
I'm surprised there's only 5 birdies in the FPO field on this hole. I think the wind was pretty brutal at for most of the cards coming through this hole during the round.
For us it was down just a hair. I mean, like, not, like, crazy, but enough that I feel like before I saw, like, yesterday I saw a lot of forehands, and today I saw more backhands attacking. But
Pretty birdie from Kat.
Oh, I didn't even see you.
Add it to her list.
5 foot on the back.
yeah, other than that one hole, Kat is playing really solid. Yeah, the wind is going.
Yeah.
And that was a headwind putt, which is always really scary, even on the, 12-footers.
Hole 15, it's a par 4, 558 feet. This hole is completely different from the last hole in the sense that there is trouble everywhere. There's out of bounds right and left, and even though it looks like a wide fairway, it does not feel wide at all. It's an absolute screaming tailwind, so it really highlights any error that you make on your disc. You can throw forehand or backhand. Some people will play hyzers out over the fence for both their drive and their approach. There's out of bounds that tightens around the basket, including an out of bounds fence deep. The first shot, you really just want to get over this gully that you can see that's, I would say, about 300 feet away from the tee pad.
Yeah, you want to throw with anhyzer, because if you do what Kat just did and leave it flat or on hyzer, it's just going to carry into the road. So yeah, backhand, you either want to ride the fence, which is terrifying, or throw it low but with some anhyzer so it doesn't, just careen into the road on the left.
The hyzer over the fence is scary though too, because the way the wind is, it pushes your disc down. So like if you leave it too low, you won't make it back over the fence.
That's the play that I like that Kona did. You just have it, turned over just a little bit. All you need is to get past that gully and you got a birdie opportunity. Same thing from Valerie here. 316 feet with the Bushnell Range Finder. That's all you need. Like, you don't need to be greedy on this hole off the tee. You just need to be in bounds.
Paige maybe trying to bite off a little bit more than everyone else. She's got a distance driver in her hand.
She's riding that fence line, and this looks too low. It's possible to skip underneath. It's not going to happen. Trying to happen. Ooh, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that wind did exactly what we thought. Just pushes it straight down. You have to give it a lot of height if you're going to do this.
Paige having to go in really early because she went over the fence early, and that looked so scary. But wow, 418 feet. She's deep of the pin, close to circle's edge.
Pushing that out of bounds deep line.
That's crazy. It looked like it dropped again, but then lifted over the fence.
Yeah, definitely some up and down action happening. Catrina recovers well inside the circle for a birdie to save her par.
Kona with the only chance for birdie. Actually, Valerie will also have a chance for birdie.
They're just now pitching over this little, we decided to call it a corral
Yeah,
yesterday.
corral, yeah.
An electrical corral.
Controlling the electrical equipment. And Valerie, no! Hop the curb.
It's crazy how that comes into play on the second shot. I feel like the second shot's a little bit scarier than the first shot. Maybe it's because it's a little tighter. Maybe it's because you're having to throw it softer.
Paige showing some frustration there. Valerie for a long birdie look.
Ooh.
Whoa!
Oh my god.
That was like fake. GK might have edited this footage. Look at it just flutter in. What a good wind read, and amazing to capitalize on that shot. Is that a bogey save?
Yes.
Yeah. Way to limit the damage. It's all you can do at that point.
Wait, no, this is a par 4.
Well, she went out of bounds.
Yeah. I think that was a par save.
Oh, you are right.
That's
Dang.
a great par save.
Oh.
Catrina will take the bogey. Just barely catching the band. She had a headwind putt. It definitely lifted a little. This green, in my opinion, was the hardest one of the day to measure your putts. It was, the wind was ridiculous on this green. Even from 10 feet, you're feeling a little nervous. Your putter's shaking in your hand.
Probably not a lot of birdies today.
No, it averaged at 4.66. I mean, there was actually a good amount of birdies, but there was just a lot of bogeys, double bogeys, and even.
From the great selection of discs to the friendly staff, Basket Case Disc Golf in Tulsa, Oklahoma is the perfect shop for all of your disc golf needs. I know the owners, Kent and Amy, personally, and over the years they've always supported me, so be sure to check out their store when you're in town.
Alright, here we are on hole 16. We're looking at that discbarn.com drone cam. Nice wide open fairway here. There is OB left and right. I would say the right side comes into play the closer you get to the pin, getting close to circle's edge on that right side. You're just trying to get max distance here to leave yourself an easy upshot. I think the left side leaves an easier upshot, more of a hyzer. Than the right side, but really you could land anywhere and still have a chance to get a birdie here as long as you get far enough down the fairway.
Yeah, it's another hole though where the fairway trees are like somehow planted perfectly.
Yeah,
it makes you have to think on your approach, even if you do get way down there. It doesn't help that it's an elevated basket, so you want to get close. Kona getting over on it, the tailwind did not help. Push straight down. She's gonna have a crush for her approach.
Yeah, and Valerie making the same mistake. I saw this a lot. Normally it's not a bad idea to throw on that angle in a tailwind, but it just got pushed down.
Almost the exact same shot. Let's see.
Got a lot farther though.
Yeah, let's see if Catrina can capitalize, use this tailwind to her advantage.
Yeah, she definitely corrects the error and gets way down there, 408 feet down the fairway. She should have a pretty standard up and down to get that birdie.
This type of card, you almost expect to see that Bushnell Range FInder on all four players.
Yeah.
Would not be surprised if we see it on Paige as
man.
well. She's all the way down into the fairway trees.
Jeez.
The trees I'm contending with on my approach, she's past.
Speaking of Bushnell Range FInders, Kona using one.
She's definitely further out than she would want to be, but she's got a wide open hyzer shot.
I mean, it's a little scary because that sidewalk's on the right, so if she flips something... Whew, yeah.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that tailwind's just too real.
It was too real. Valerie opting for the wide hyzer route as well. She gets it inside the circle.
I think that was a falcon. Well, I'm not positive. Oh. Putter up? Mid-up shot. Maybe it's in... Hold on.
Maybe an M2?
And... A2?
Oh, A2, okay.
Yeah.
So that's Prodigy's approach series. They're in between putters and mids. Pretty overstable.
Yeah, it looks great. Go buy one. She played that perfect.
She did. She will not have to worry about this elevated basket. Paige just trying to get close here.
To contend with that tree maybe and straddle for her birdie putt.
Like hole 15, the wind was absolutely ripping on this green. It puts a lot of pressure on your approach because you want to get it as close as you can, so you don't have to worry about putting on this basket.
That's a good way to do it. Kona shows us how. Paige, luckily not having to contend with this tree, but a long putt, and we'll have something very similar coming back for her par.
With a tailwind on the way back. Capitalizing. Saving the par.
I'd say she's the best in the game at making those long comebackers if she misses the original putt.
You know, she's still feeling a little bummed after that long drive. But at this point, you really have to focus on looking forward because 17 and 18 are the hardest holes on the course, in my opinion, mentally.
I think in everybody's opinion. Physically, mentally, emotionally.
More feels, lots more feels. Nice birdie from Catrina.
Is it a putt or a dunk? Yeah.
It was great follow through, regardless.
That's true.
Hole 17, we have a ladies tee pad on this hole. It's 530 feet, par 4. You have to pitch it out to these 2 trees on the left-hand side to hopefully give yourself an open look at the basket where we're taking a hard right turn. The fairway narrows up a lot right here. It's only about 80 feet wide with out of bounds on the left and right. There's a bubble that extends on the right that gives you a little bit more room to throw your second shot. Some of these ladies might be approaching the pin on their second shot.
Bright red tee pad. Wow.
Screaming headwind on this tee shot. Screaming.
Look at the sun coming through. Like, looks like a different day.
It does. Texas, man.
Catrina throwing an excellent backhand around that tree. H3 V2. And she, can probably go for it from there if she wants.
Kona throwing the forehand. She's landing about the same distance as Catrina, but tucked more to the right. Might make that second shot more difficult.
Yeah, she'll be pinched. She might have to lay up to the bubble.
Might be a blind shot as well to the bubble. It's very scary. Just throw it the water and hope.
Blind bubble shot.
Valerie taking the route inside the trees. A little scary because there's out of bounds on the right as well, but she hits the gap, no problem.
This is that zone from Paige, going up that same gap. And hopefully she's not too much behind that tree. I think she'll have a look at going for the pin.
The wind here switches from being a headwind to being a raging left to right crosswind. And I mean, it was absolutely ripping. I can't explain how hard it was blowing.
She's going for it and cutting the corner. And she's in the circle.
Sit down.
Oh
my god, that is brutal.
That was almost the coolest thing ever. I can't believe she cut the corner.
It's such an aggressive shot, and it's so awesome to see her execute it. It's unfortunate with the roll, but man, I would say that was perfectly executed.
I mean, she's in the circle to save her par. Kat unfortunately catches those right side trees and does drop out of bounds.
To tell you how nervy this shot is, the FPO field averaged at 1.3 strokes above par. I mean, you can see these discs are doing crazy things.
And, I mean, I feel like that happened kind of a lot on 17. Like, you're trying to juice it all the way to the pin, and you throw it hard, and then the wind just kind of flips it up.
Or pushes it down if you're showing the wrong side.
That's true, yeah. This is a little high, but there's that big bubble that might save her. Not quite.
Yeah, that was a little high, definitely nose up. She knew right out of her hand that it wasn't going to work.
She'll be in circle 2 for maybe a look at a par save. Kat just trying to save her bogey at this point.
Wow, that looks like a great shot. Giving herself a putt. A little bit of a death putt, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of room between the basket and the water. Probably 40 feet. 35? 30.
25. I don't know. These greens, 17 and 18, if you don't hit it right, you can pick up and roll. Like, you can even see that one was trying to get out, and it looked fine. Like, it's a little downhill. I think Kona's Annie shot will kind of help her stay where she needs to be, hopefully.
I think I maybe need to hold on to my skewed perception of the screen in order to play it effectively.
Yeah, it's like 50 feet from the water. Look how far she is.
Valerie to save her par after that super impressive approach. Catches the band. Weird to see a lift, and it looked like her putter lifted a little bit there because it is definitely a tailwind at this point.
I don't know. It's just like a swirling hurricane of sadness, I think.
Even more feels out here.
Look how pretty it is, though.
Yeah, the light was really nice at the end of the day. The clouds kind of parted after being very overcast all morning. It did nothing to change the wind. Catrina's still looking strong. Tickles around on the right side of the cage.
Good comeback. Unfortunate not to save that bogey, but 17 will do it to you.
Only 2 birdies on the day. One from Owen Scoggins, the recent Memorial champion, and one from Cynthia Ricciati. These ladies probably happy to get off this hole.
They'll be happy to get off the course in a moment, too.
Yeah. At this point, you really are thinking, we're done. We're almost done.
No, you can't think that, because then 18 will just destroy you. Oh, hole 18. We did it, people. We're here. One more. Par 4, 468 feet. Paige might try to go across, but I'd be surprised if anybody else did. Most of us are trying to land in this narrow strip between the little pond and the sidewalk. It is a treacherous little layup. It's like not a safe shot at all, and then you're trying to carry the water. Depending on where you land, it can be a 200-foot shot or maybe 250. The par 4 is kind of nice because on your upshot you can just try to pump it over and get into circle 2 and lay up, but it's definitely threeable with that distance.
You can see Kona taking a little pause. This tee pad, the wind was so intense that it was literally sometimes trying to blow your disc out of your hand. It was so scary up on that tee pad. She's making it look easy.
Yeah, this is perfect, and I mean, she got a lot of distance too. And then also, you can see sometimes those discs will skip onto that side hill, making you run down to throw across. So she's in a perfect spot and should have a relatively short water carry as far as that goes. And this is that thing. Oh, I thought she was going to land on the hill, but she got a very favorable roll.
To the flat.
Is she going for it?
I would
bet you
no.
$1.
I would be surprised if she went for it. I say no.
Ooh, I should have gone double or nothing.
Oh my! Is she going for it?
Yes. Yeah, obviously. Oh man.
Yeah.
You still owe me well, we're square actually. I lost $1 earlier.
That wind is a little. I don't think even a lot of the MPO were going for this. Catrina.
Huh. I think she was trying to lay up and it just flipped forever.
That definitely looked like an accident.
Yeah, you have to throw just so stable, but also you have to throw low on this hole, and it can be tough. Paige with one of the longer water carries. She went out a little early.
Really, really nice. Oh, I thought that was very safe.
I think it's on the edge.
Looks like
I think
they're going to call it safe, yeah.
Valerie, this looks low.
She's trying to keep it out of the wind.
Ooh, that? Oh, they are flirting with those reeds.
I know. Catrina taking her shot from out of bounds, making it look so easy, so effortless.
Yeah, that was great after going OB initially.
Looks like Valerie did go out of bounds on her approach. She will be throwing again from this side of the lake.
So close.
Sunset shot. Giving it a lot more height this time.
Yep, that's what I mean. Sometimes you just want to throw it so hard to make sure you get across. That'll be a death putt. I'd be surprised if she goes for it.
Yeah. They definitely tightened that out of bounds since the last time I was here on the backside. It makes it a little scary, but I think this is a good distance for the women where we don't have to necessarily worry about ripping.
Oh, wow. I thought that was way too low, but that was gorgeous.
Gorgeous. That looks like an easy birdie.
I mean, that's her reward for getting so far on her drive. That looked way easier than all of the other women's upshots.
Oh, no. Floaty run from Valerie.
Yeah, that's why I said I'd be surprised if she went for it. I mean, she's got guts, but she's paying for it.
Can't quite find any metal, but it still doesn't go too far past. She will have a death putt on the way back. I know it kind of looks like these ladies are struggling. We have to end the beast with the first and second hardest holes on the course in the worst wind. So like you're working up your mental game the whole time to do the 2 hardest things you have to do.
Oh, that is rough. Valerie goes from under par to over par very quickly. I think that's still in for Paige, but not what you want.
She's
Maybe having some grip problems.
Yeah, she always keeps a whale sack on her, keeps some dirt on her because of how humid it can get in Texas. Definitely looks like having grip issues because she's missing right and left.
There it is.
Finds the center.
Wow.
Wow.
Rough finish.
Was not expecting
for
that.
Valerie and Paige. Kona's up there for a 3 though, which is amazing. And Kat, is this just for bogey?
Yep.
Or a par
Par.
save? Par save, yeah. Really awesome save after going in the water pretty early.
Kona says, "Watch me."
Wow.
She's in a full sprint now.
She's dead run.
Yeah.
I mean, 12 down.
Look, she can't even believe it herself. She can't turn the focus face off yet.
She's focused on winning it.
And she's got the lead that you want if you're trying to win a tournament.
Boy, I mean, Kona's card is pretty clean, but lots of crazy colors.
We can't wait to go into pinks, purples.
Oranges.
Out of all the courses on tour, though, I mean, this is the one that you'll see it happen with this much wind.
All the colors of the rainbow. Leaderboard, Kona. She is 10 strokes over
Bye-bye.
second place. Madison Walker jumping up from 4th card. Lisa Vegas and Missy Gann will make up the lead card in the final round.
Catrina Allen will be on the chase card, but still hanging out with the people in contention for second. Who knows what could happen with Kona? I'm so excited.
I am thrilled for her. She's doing amazing. Thank you for joining us on this round 2 of the Waco Annual Charity Open presented by Prodigy. I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're the 2 hot geese. Leave us a honk in the comments. We're so happy to be here.